What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Metal Ear channel. I got a quick update for you guys today regarding Metalx lending. It appears to be back up and running. All issues have been solved. Alright, let's check out the FYI X Space featuring Marshall Hayner. He goes over and talks about metallicus and where it's headed in the future.
An artist who I'm a huge fan of. We've got a DeFi digital banking network platform, and the CEO there, Mike Marshall. Hey, how you doing? Great to meet you. We've got an NFT project that's coming up soon, and we've got a meme token up on stage too. And so I love the fact that we've got a very broad spread.
We're breaking the narrative as we do, because
I also love the fact that we are collecting NFTs and we are collecting art again in the space. Like, felt there for a moment like it was all down the drain and all we were going to do was trade shitters all day. And it made me sad, if I'm honest. Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna bring the conversation around to each of our guests. I'm going to start with Clown Vamp because I know that Clown Vamp has to drop at the top of the hour, so I'm going to give him some of his time back. Hey, Clown Vamp, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm having a productive day, getting ready for a big show next week. You know, listen to a good British accent.
Thanks. Last time I spoke to Clown Vamp was on a Spaces that I was producing with the team at Super Rare. And Clown Vamp is an artist there that's had a few very cool collections. I would talk about his art, but I think probably the best thing to do is do himself. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Dude, that donut piece is pretty legit.
Oh, thanks. So I'm an artist who uses AI in sort of a more conceptual way. The show that I'm working on next week is focused on, I'm really fascinated by how AI is starting to sort of infect a lot of our systems. And the one I'm interested in right now is advertising and marketing. And a lot of these tools that marketers use, that advertisers use, are bring in creative AI. And as a result, what you're seeing is that all the problems, biases, flaws of AI are now being amplified all across the Facebook ads you see, the Instagram ads you see. And so I built this robot, which I'm showing next week in Marfa during Art Blocks weekend. It's in my pin post. And the robot's this big pink robot. It's inspired by sort of 1980s toys, like those hot pink plastic toys. And there's a giant red button. And every time you push the red button, the button's very tempting. There's a little robotics computer on the robot that has a local AI model that generates a piece of AI junk mail and then prints it out for you on command. And so doing a big show next week, it's called The Junk Machine. And the show is going to be, we have this beautiful old church in Marfa. The robot's going to be in the center of it. And then people can come up and they can print out a piece of AI junk mail. They can take it with them. And so it's meant to be this sort of free public arts project to get people thinking about how AI is sort of permeating through society and what that means. And what is this, like the idea of like infinite imagery mean? Like if we can create literally infinite images, what does that look like? What does that feel like? And so it's going to be loud and kind of crazy. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyone who's coming to Marfa, definitely swing by.
I can't wait to see the photos. I wish I was going to Marfa.
Right, me too. So the reason Clown Vamp's up today is because he and I talk regularly about his collections and what's going on, and I'm just a huge fan of his work. And so he asked if I was going to be in Marfa, and now I'm pretty annoyed that I'm not going to be in Marfa. It sounds very cool.
It is next week. There are planes. We can bring you to Marfa.
True.
Get you there.
Yeah.
Clown Vamp, I have to say, I pinned this party you're going, and I definitely I've been down the AI rabbit hole for the last 7 or 8 years, right? And been playing with Midjourney for quite a while. I love that you've got the hands, the fucked up hands, because that was some of my favorite shit back a few versions ago, a year and a half ago, where you'd have a hand with 7 fingers, or you'd have a smiling woman with way too many teeth. That shit was just
100%
haunting and rad at the same time.
Well, I also think we're at this interesting moment where these tools are becoming so embedded and so perfect that I'm playing with those aesthetics also as a way to get us to think about the fact that AI is there and present. Yeah, the things you pin, those are part of next Friday, the 15th. We're doing
awesome.
I curated 222 outputs from the robot because it's a generative robot. So every time you push it, it's generating a new random thing. But I generated like 20,000 and curated 200 and upscaled them. And so we're also going to do a mint. So it's a free arts project. If you're in Marfa, come on, get a free piece of art. But also if you want the digital sort of upscaled version, I'm doing that. And so, yeah, those two you pinned are, some particularly junky junk machine slop, which is the goal.
I love it.
Love that. And so is there a collection running alongside this then, like a curated?
Yes.
Because I know you have to do that too.
So the curated selection will be 222 pieces, sort of one of X. We built with the team at Transient Labs this like sick immersive minting experience that launches next week. And so even if you can't make it to Marfa, you can go on, you can, quote unquote, print something out from the robot. And they're upscaled to 12K resolution.
Oh, damn. So you guys can print them out. They're fucking huge.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to offer at cost for people who want 30 by 30 acrylics that kind of have like an advertising quality to them. And so
I love that.
Yeah, so they're really sick. And Marfa, I'm bringing 10 of them down. But they have, the acrylic has this kind of like 3D effect to it.
That's
really
sick.
Cool. It looks like a billboard.
How much are those going to be?
The 30 by 30 is only $380. Damn. So it's just what I'm paying for it.
That's
amazing. Yeah, my belief with prints, by the way, I know this, you didn't ask this a bit, like I really think the digital of the token is like the holy grail. And like, if you own the token, you should be able to print as many times as you want, as many as you want. Shouldn't cost you a premium. So yeah, people can print, if they want to print 30 acrylics of their piece, they can go for it.
I love that.
What's it been like working with the physical, like building a robot and that kind of thing? Have you worked with like a robotics team?
No, this is my first time doing a sort of like an interactive device. And I got really interested in it because I think so much of what I struggle with as like a conceptual AI artist is like I'm trying to sort of make a point. And sometimes, when you're just dealing with one dimension, a screen, it's harder to make the point. And so I was really trying to get people to sort of feel how like infinite these AI models are. And so I was like, oh shit, if you could just keep pressing that button and printing it, and every time you press it, something comes out, like that to me is really the intent. And, what's kind of meta and crazy about it all is all of my research. I had never programmed something before, but I spent all summer learning how to program this robot using ChatGPT and Claude. And so, AI teaching me to program AI. And then the actual shell, the case, I'm lucky I'm in New York City, so there's a whole sort of art fabrication industry. So I created a model of what I wanted the case to look like. I found an art fabricator and we were able to actually create it. And so, the pink case is like made of plywood covered with this pink, sort of like a auto paint. And so the result though is it's like we worked a lot on the color to get it to be like this exact sort of like 80s hot pink. So it's really fun and just like three-dimensional. So yeah, I'm going to do a lot more, I think, things with robotics, but this actual robot, the plan is, do it in Marfa, but then use, money from the NFT drop to actually bring it around the world to different NFT events and let people use it for free and touch it. So it's meant to be, felt and experienced and used.
Well, please let us know when you are out and about, and come back up and let us know how the Marfa event went as well. But we'd love to know whereabouts you're going to be, because I certainly want to push the red button.
Let's push the red button. The buttons are getting pushed.
Push them.
Yeah,
and
for real.
DM me some stuff. I'm happy to like repost for you to try to push it.
Thanks. I really appreciate it, guys. Have a great rest of your show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming up.
Nice one. Have a great day. Thanks, Vamp. And now we're going to jump just seamlessly to Marshall and Metallicus. Just complete segue, like you'd never realized we'd changed guest. But I know that you've also got to go, Marshall, at the top of the hour. So how are you doing? How's things? What's going on?
Hey, Benjamin. Hey, Vonsoon. Thanks for having me on again. We're so over at Metallicus, a little background about us for those that don't know. We're a digital asset banking platform. We started in 2016, so we've been around. Myself, I've been in the crypto space for about 15 years now. So I go all the way back to December of 2009 when I first discovered crypto. So I'm an OG. It's funny you mentioned Magic Eden. I know the CTO over there. He's also an OG from the early San Francisco Bitcoin days. Yeah, he's a Bitcoin OG guy. But yeah, we are behind the MetalPay platform. So that's like a crypto trading and payments app launched in the US in 2018, fully licensed, live in 48 states. Kind of like the original crypto Venmo. And what we're building at Metallicus, we call it TDBN, the digital banking network. For a lot of people in crypto, you probably know it's hard to get a bank account. And if let's say you're building a company, building NFTs or anything, Magic Eden, it's very, very hard to get a corporate bank account.
Yeah, no, it really is. There's so many things to fill out. Do you
near impossible.
What's going to change now because they're talking about getting rid of, Operation Choke Point was one of the things that he said he'd get rid of on day one.
Well, I think I think that it's a slower moving thing, right? Because so the bank regulators don't necessarily come in and out with the new president. Some roles are appointed, but some have been there for 20 years or whatever. Yeah. And so there has, I go back to the early days of crypto when there was this ethos of down with the banks. And I was probably the odd bird at that time, 10 plus years ago, where I was saying, actually, the banks are going to be like Blockbuster Video. They're going to become Netflix. They're going to evolve like a butterfly, right?
They have to.
They have to.
The ones that don't are going to go out of business because and I'm sure you agree here. It's like, what person would look at the Bitcoin chart and not want a piece of that action?
Well, they all do. That's the reality. But they just are kind of, so some banks are more risk averse than others. Some are interested. There just hasn't been the regulatory guidance, right? And so we have like Mika and
to give it to us.
We haven't gotten it, right? And so without that, there's no way the banks are going full swing. But look at JP Morgan. They've got their JP Morgan Onyx blockchain. A lot of stuff is happening behind the scenes. Bank of America holds more blockchain patents than any company in the world, right? So not a lot of people know that. Anyways, what we're building at Metallicus is we solve this problem. And, right now, the way that it works is you have to go through an intermediary, right? So you might send sell your NFT on OpenSea or wherever, and then you want to move some USDC to, Coinbase or MetalPay or Kraken or something like that. There's an intermediary. Our vision is in the future, there will be a network of credit unions and banks globally that are just connected into the blockchain. So you just deposit that stable coin right into your checking account. Boom. You want to withdraw it onto the blockchain? Easy. So, part of the friction of there's this wall between banking and traditional payments and finance and crypto, which is narrowing, but we still have all these delays. Like if I wanted to get, some Bitcoin into my bank account into cash, I have to wait a few days, right? But imagine in the future if all of that was instantaneous and
the dream, making it seamless. So you're doing
that's right,
both for consumers and for businesses.
Yeah, that's right. So if you go to metalpay.com,
I'm going to DM you just as a sidebar because
please do. Yeah, if anyone's trying to and is listening to the show today, if you're building a business or even if you're just like a solo artist, for example, doing NFTs and you want to add credit and debit cards and traditional payments for digital assets like NFTs,
just as an off ramp.
Yeah, that's us. So you go to metalpay.com. We just launched. Thanks. Yeah, we just launched our new product called MetalPay Connect. So you can find that on metalpay.com.
How did I not know about this?
We're kind of under the radar. We're kind of like a Mighty Mouse. We're about
really
to come out.
I'm glad you're here. Jesus Christ. Is this real? This is crazy. That's awesome. All right, cool. That's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah. And, the past has really kind of been, two ways. You've got like the Coinbases, the MetalPays, the Krakens, the Robinhoods.
Yeah.
And then you've also got, like MoonPays and things like in the wallets. So our version is most of those things in the wallets are like card only. If you've noticed that, right? Like it's like cards only. And we have cards. We have a great success rate, by the way. A lot of those platforms, if you sometimes use them, they don't go through and the payment fails. We're close to 90% success rate, whereas some of their ones are like half. So that's one of our secret sauces. But
wait, roll that back. Explain that to me.
Yeah. So sometimes when you use like apps inside of like if you're using a ramp, I won't name them because I don't want to start enemies. But
sure, we're not.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'll fill in the blank.
Yeah, go into like MetaMask and hit buy or something.
Sure.
So most of those options a lot of times they will fail. So you'll add your card, you'll go through, and you'll say payment declined. And it happens more often than not. I go all the way back to 2016 when we were starting Metallicus, and there were some of these companies. Simplex is one of the early ones, and I know the CEO. And we were talking about like the decline rates. Flash forward all these years, they have improved somewhat, but not so much. At Metallicus, we've really gotten to understand, how banks work, how these payments work, flow between traditional payment systems, and we fine-tuned it so, when you come through our platform, the rate of failure is very low, very, very low, as opposed to some of the other competitors. And that was one of the things that we were working on. But beyond just the card payments, our future vision is that you'd be able to go to, for example, metalblockchain.org, which is our part of our what we call TDBN, and choose from all these credit unions. Right now, there's about like 16 of them on the site. Credit unions are global, by the way, so they're all over the world. And you'd be able to choose from this network of credit unions. You could open a corporate bank account, you could open a consumer bank account, and then you could connect it to MetalPay Connect. And now you don't have to use a card. Could come right out of your checking account, even larger amounts. Also, Metallicus, one of the cool things, we're on the forefront of this stuff. We just got designated the only certified FedNow service provider, which is very cool. So we're the only service provider doing FedNow and digital assets. And we haven't launched that live yet, but we're just very excited about that.
You guys are just in the position to just clean up at this point too, with the stuff that you've already built, with the implementations that you already have, and with the licenses you already have acquired. I mean, you're definitely in like the catbird seat, as they would say.
Thanks. Yeah, for us, we really, my vision from the very beginning is I was like very early in crypto, so I saw how in the early days you could only trade this with people P2P. There was a day in the early days of Bitcoin, before there were even altcoins, and I'm talking like 2012, 2011, you'd have to go onto IRC or local Bitcoins. I think local Bitcoins came out maybe 2012. You go on these sites and you meet some stranger, maybe even in person.
I remember
cash.
And
so we've come all the way to now where you have PayPal and Venmo, but it's still a hop between your bank. And as much as, Venmo is cool and everything, it's never going to beat your Amex, your Apple Card, right? Your traditional services that you probably use. So our vision is really, connecting these banks in the future. You go to the MetalPay Connect, it's not just cards, but you can choose from, some of these credit unions and banks and FedNow and other options, hopefully, when we turn that on. That's the idea, is that, in the future, everything's going to be on chain. And that was the bet we made, over 2 years ago when we started building this. And man, it's really come true with Coinbase Base and Kraken Inc. We've got Metal L2, the rise of the super chain. I think, the volume on Base might even be exceeding Coinbase's actual volume.
Yeah, the volume on Base.
Yeah, I heard that the other day.
So that's the future.
And the number of active wallets as well, which I think is always a really good indicator. Is huge now, absolutely massive.
Yeah, so we want to. We're the company connecting the bank directly to the chain. Why even have some sort of intermediary or delays? I just want to, when I have some stable coins and I need to pay some bills, I want to just deposit it right into my checking account.
Yeah,
unfortunately, until TDBN, you couldn't do that, and we're hoping to launch that sometime early next year.
Brilliant.
I'm conscious you've only got a few minutes left. I want to ask a question, which I guess is a little bit more about what it is that you are prioritizing at the moment. Given what's just happened in the last 24 hours, and given the kind of the what's the word, the infrastructure that you've already built around your product and the infrastructure that is now starting to come to the fore in the space. What are your priorities in the coming, I don't know, maybe 3-6 months? And how are you trying to, onboard people to find out more about what you're doing, to come work with you in whatever capacity?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I predicted that I knew that this was going to happen. I knew that this contentious election, there's a high probability, especially when you see Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, giving thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's okay, this is happening. Those are came in the later hours, but we anticipated that this is a high probability. And so we wanted to be prepared for what I call the rise of the on-chain, right? So in the future, everything's going to actually be using the blockchains. Right now, people are more speculating on them and using centralized platforms, right? And in the future, everything's going to start to be on-chain. You're going to start to make payments on-chain. You won't even know it. Digital identity will be hashed and recorded to chain without, of course, hopefully exposing your private information. But in the future, that's great because I don't want to give out my social security number. I just want to, be at Marshall and you send your request.
That's like that's the ZK
right?
stuff, right? When you get to that layer of like just instant or the zero knowledge proof stuff, right?
Exactly. And so we just really planned for the rise of, blockchain actually being used now, because now I think the clarity is going to start to come from a regulatory perspective. Yeah. And what does that mean? Now, all of a sudden, you're going to see the rise of credit unions, banks, traditional financial institutions directly integrating the blockchains, not just some sort of speculation on the asset, but now you could actually, your credit union, your bank could talk to the blockchain. And that's what we're planning for.
Jesus, the possibilities there are so exciting. That's crazy. I didn't even think about it at that level where you get, because there's like a humongous regional credit union network in the U.S.
There's 5,000 in the U.S. and they actually have a little thing that a lot of people don't know is they've had global real-time payment systems for a long time.
Oh yeah, it's the same. It's the same stuff that Chase or Silicon Valley Bank has. It's all the same tooling, right, that they have for pushing money around. And then you could, are you going to look at taking it like one step above, in a sense, the credit unions to like the regional banks as well?
Yeah, so we're not limited to
that would be like the next play in my mind.
Yeah. So one of the things we found, yes, the answer to that is yes. We started, with this idea of, okay, let's go talk to banks, credit unions. And we found, so we're talking to both, and that is true. But the banking world is moving slower than the credit union world because for many reasons. One, it's a different ethos. Credit unions are not for profit. And so they really align with this vision of blockchain.
Yeah, and it's much less, it's much lighter on the decision-making side, right? It's usually like one or two people, or there's a small board of individuals that run it, and they can make a quick decision.
That's right. And also, they're focused. They're really focused on giving back to their community. So you'll notice the credit unions are like in your town. They're, based around the police and fire. They're based around different communities.
Yeah, unions, students, all that stuff.
Exactly. So it's all about serving the people, which I love. And that's, why I got into blockchain was to bring the power of money back to the people. So that, they're the first, they're the early adopters. I think as we, and hopefully in this administration, I think we're going to start to see real policy come together, real conversations, instead of this brick wall of, we're not going to talk about this and we're just going to aggressively pursue
this unknown black box where we don't know if we're breaking rules or not. We think we're okay and we've asked for help and they won't help us. And then all of a sudden they sue you.
Right, exactly. And I don't think that's the case with all the regulators, but it just, in a certain administration, that's what happens. And now I think it's if you look at the party that just got elected, you've got Elon in there, which makes me feel so good about the technology side and the future and the policy around that. I mean, RFK on the health, everything in general seems really great, but when it comes to crypto, I think there's going to be a renaissance. In 2016, I was living in SF, and I remember as Trump was going against Hillary, that I thought, man, if he wins, this could be very good for the digital asset space. And at that time, Trump wasn't even really a bull around crypto. He just was kind of like a freedom-focused guy, which I knew aligned with the early ethos.
Yeah, with the ethos, right.
Correct.
That it started with. It's like, that's like the early 90s ethos of the internet in general.
That's right. Yeah. And there is some sort of cypherpunk. And I guess in a way, a big way, I come from that. But I'm also a realist in the sense that, when people said, oh, the banks are going away, it's like, yeah, right. Like the oldest business in the world is going away. No, that absolutely won't happen. What will happen is it will be like the change of like VHS and DVD to, I saw this clip on X where a Blockbuster employee is like, I had a bad day today because I thought maybe in the future I won't have a job here because people just watch movies on the internet. That's what's going to happen to banking, right? Is it's going to connect to the blockchain. all of a sudden, we used to, call people on the phone. You pay like a long distance fee. Now nobody does that because everything is Zoom and, X calling and WhatsApp and whatever.
They also stopped charging for it because of all the competition that came in. So that's a big part of it.
So imagine that happening with money, digital assets. It's going to be an absolute renaissance. And if you were around for 2017, and this might kind of go a little bit further back for some people, so they don't know about 2017, but it's almost like every 3 years it kind of aligned with the Bitcoin halving. But 2014 was a big year. 2011, nobody knew what crypto was. It was like me and a few nerds in SF, and little pockets around the world where people are just experimenting. 2014 was very exciting. That was where I met a lot of the early crypto OG people. That was the beginning of Dogecoin. That's how I met my co-founder. He built the first Dogecoin wallet. I'm a big Dogecoin guy, by the way. I work directly with the team, and I sit on the Dogecoin Foundation board. Yeah, so I'm a Doge OG, I guess you could say, and I love Dogecoin. I think meme coins are cool. I think every meme coin just wants to become more than a token and become like a real project, and that's the power of memes.
Well, it's the communities that are built around them. Yeah, it makes total sense. I'm interested in seeing how quickly like Coinbase starts listing. We talked about this the other day. Like all of a sudden Mog gets listed and Pepe gets, what I mean? Like I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I don't think it'll matter. I don't think it'll matter in the future. It's all going to be on chain. It's going to be on Aerodrome, and they're just going to make a DAO proposal, and it's going to go through. So what happened is, I saw something the other day where Brian said, "Oh, yeah, we don't charge listing fees," and then a bunch of high-powered players came in and said, "Oh, you do. I have an email where you asked me for that or whatever." I'm not saying he does or he doesn't. I don't know. I've never seen any evidence of it, but the fact is that it's a gatekeeper. And, if you wanted to get on, if you're an asset and you want to get on one of these exchanges and you're a part of that team, it's very, very difficult. And some of them, you've heard, there's millions of dollars access fee, or you can't even get in unless you know someone. And I think in the future, it's a much more democratic process because everything's on chain. It's also going to be the rise of DAOs. And for me, that is one of the most futuristic, exciting things. I don't know if you've ever read the book or seen the movie Ender's Game, but it's about a little kid who becomes basically a military general because in the future, because it's the internet, right? So the internet is doesn't see age or sex or race or anything. And I think that's really like crypto in a big way. I think we're going to see the rise of DAOs, and in the future, you won't really have to worry about these things because it will be completely merit-based and no longer how much money you have and who you know. It will be how cool you are and how much you can make waves. And that has nothing to do with those other gatekeepers. And that's going to be, I think 2025 is going to be the best year we've ever seen in crypto. And I've been here since the very beginning. So
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Freak out. Don't go crazy. Go slowly into it. I think it is going to be a renaissance next year. I really do.
I agree. Marshall,
love
great to meet you, man. I want to have you back, and I already sent you.
Likewise, thank you.
Because I want an account. Look, we'll get you back, and it's great to meet you.
For sure.
I'm literally shocked that I had never heard of this until right now. So I'm so glad you came up today. Thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Thanks, Marshall.
The MetalPay app. We also have a mobile wallet called WebAuth. Check it out. And thanks again for having me.
I'm going to do that as soon as we're
Feel free to pin. Yeah, feel free to pin anything, Marshall, to the top if you want, or have any of your team do it from the Metallicus account.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Ooh, very,
let's
very
reset
quickly.
And then let's talk to Paws and Claws, All City.
Let's do that. So reset, episode 16, yada, yada. Thanks everyone for listening. If you are here because you are excited to earn your reach token, just hold on a little longer before we drop the magic password to you all. If you are here because you are very much interested in winning our $250 Sundog prize, then make sure that you're following everyone who's still on stage, and also go down to that little purple button, bottom right-hand corner. Make sure you give this space a like, a repost, and drop a comment in there too. That would be wonderful. And we'll pick someone out. We'll ask the team from Paws and Claws to help us draw someone in a little bit. Okay, there you go. Paws and Claws. So, just quick disclaimer, I'm going to struggle with this name a lot. I used to manage a big warehouse thing, and we had some commercial cleaners. And as well as being commercial cleaners, they also did lots of dog walking because we live in the countryside. And they were called Paws and Chores. So I'm fucked. There's no way I'm going to get this right all show. So just putting it out there now. Personal disclaimer.
It's good to get that out there. Good job.
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay, but go for it. Hey, how you
Ben,
doing?
it's all city on the account right now. It's a long time. I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, Paws and Claws. Look, fun project. Me and my buddy been working on it for a few months, kind of just gearing up for Ape Chain. And yeah, I mean, I think we got the best pixels in the game. So a good buddy of mine, I mean, this is a guy who I've known since high school. We skateboarded together and grew up doing graffiti, one of the most creative guys that I know. So that's sort of the artwork side of it and just kind of how it started. And we're here now riding the Ape Chain wave and building and doing all that fun stuff that projects do and that founders are trying to accomplish. And yeah, great conversation on here, by the way, too, you guys. I love this format.
Thank you so much.
Very impressed. Yeah, dude, dog. I mean, I loved it. I think that the diversity with the guests is like super, super cool. Like I'm sitting here learning, and I hope that you know the same can be said for everyone else as well. I think it's just awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That's exactly the intent as well. That's really
I think All City. I think you should give a little bit of background because I know you're using the Paws and Claws account, but like you are like about as OG as they come on the BAYC tip. So tell that story real quick of how you found out about how you got into it. And I mean, you've been here literally. Did you mint or did you buy like a little like in May like I did?
Yeah, and Vaughn, dude, you're far too humble. This is the big G over here. I didn't mint, but came in pretty early when Pranksy was selling. Mm-hmm. So I think I grabbed mine for like 1.25. Nice. Yeah, came in, kind of stumbled into the space, not crypto native. Came in as a creative guy. I was doing some courses and an instructor was like, because I had this side project where I was producing these sketchbooks for graffiti writers. Speaking about graffiti, there we go. And this instructor that I had, she says, listen, there's this whole sort of movement going on right now on this Clubhouse app. It was kind of at the beginning of COVID, right? And so she said, you need an invite, jump on here, whatever. And so I hopped on. I didn't really know anything about, NFTs or anything like that. It was right after the big Beeple sale. And fuck, man, back then there was just like these NFT rooms going on like all day long. And it was so fun and just like cool. We were pretty mischievous on them. And then ended up just making friends with apes and then got my ape. And then here we are now, what, 4 years later?
Yeah. 3 going on 4, right? I mean,
yeah.
It'll be 4 in May. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I never thought that buying a monkey JPEG would save my life. Or not save my life,
but change it for sure.
Yeah. It is wild. I was thinking that a lot in Lisbon, where Ben was red pilled. Ben's ape is brand new.
I see it and I love it. Yeah.
And one of the, and I don't know if you get into this stuff like I do, but like I love looking at the trading history of these things sometimes, and I noticed that like the trading history on Ben's ape it would only be, I think it only changed hands like 3 times, Ben.
Yeah.
Pretty
3 or 4
fucking
times,
badass.
but one of them was 160 million.
160 ETH.
No, what the fuck am I talking? 160. Oh my god. 160. Yeah, no, but 160.
It's just a 9-figure asset. No big deal. Everybody calm down.
It's actually funny that you mentioned that with the provenance kind of thing, right? Because I think for me, again, coming in not crypto native, my sort of aha moment was blockchain. And when I figured out, look, you can prove ownership over this digital asset. And then once that sort of like clicked with me, I'm like, this is fucking amazing. Like this makes so much sense. How does this not make sense? Right. So
I know. And so with let me get it right. Paws and Claws.
You got it. You did it.
Where are you at the moment?
Yeah. So the collection minted out what, a week ago?
Yeah, not even, I think.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But then you're following it up with something else that's dope.
Yeah, we got all sorts of stuff coming. So, I mean, again, growing up a graffiti guy, lots of artists around me. So Paws and Claws is definitely, this is central, but other friends, all hand-drawn stuff, they want to put some stuff out as well. So as long as it's clean and, you know, I think it's something that people would like and an artist that I can get behind, we're going to help that out as well. Bit of a launchpad kind of approach. So we've got another collection coming on the 11th. Yeah. Paws and Claws is kind of your ticket for that. You know, not what do they say? Not financial advice or anything like that, but I'm definitely going to be doing something special for holders with Paws and Claws, not just, you know, the standard whitelist kind of thing. Definitely do a drop. And yeah, but I mean, Paws and Claws for us is just it's just very man, I just love it. I love the art. And for us, I'm in Hong Kong right now. So for me, there's a lot of different things going on right now on the ApeCoin side, but it's very fun for me to be meeting people out here and sort of seeing where the tech side is at with gaming and Web3 development. Like mainland China borders on Hong Kong as well. So like there is a ton of developers here in Hong Kong. We just actually we just hosted a hackathon with Arbitrum and Duckchain. And yeah, it was great, dude. You're going to see about it on the ApeCoin account pretty quick here. It was huge.
Oh, cool.
Bro, huge success. It was fantastic. But on mainland, in mainland China, I mean, there's just so many great developers, great people. And so, yeah, I'm talking to people right now about just getting these, the IP integrated into different games and stuff like that. Nothing major. We're not talking AAA stuff, but really fun. Sort of
love that.
Yeah, mobile game stuff. Really, again, the most important thing for me is the collection's just super feel good. Another great thing right now, just sort of about the whole NFT space as a whole and its resurgence through ApeChain, is the fact that things are so affordable too, right? So I think it takes a little bit of pressure off of the founders, but it also just makes things more fun to trade as well.
Like, I mean, pressure off the buyer too, because they're buying these things, they're fun, they're a couple bucks.
Yeah,
it's light. It's not, Yeah, I love it. I'm so glad that like it feels a bit like a micro version of 2021 right now. But then you look at the number of wallets. I posted yesterday, like I think it was like the transactions, or let me find it. I'll paste it up there. The number of transactions or the number of wallets, but the growth of ApeChain, I mean, because you're in the middle of it, is like actually fucking spectacular when you look at it. It's like,
where are we at now? I've not seen any of those. Hold on. I was seeing them trippy before.
Vast amount of posts.
Curious too. Yeah.
But yeah, take a look at this. So this is the unique addresses chart on this tweet I pinned. And we are correct. I mean, at this point, this was from yesterday. We're probably at 350,000 plus unique addresses.
Oh, wow. Love it. Love it.
That's
insane.
Wild. It's been 2 weeks since Lisbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're heading towards 500,000. So, I mean, at this rate, where are we going to be will we be over 1 million in less than 90 days? It seems possible.
Yeah. I mean,
that is an insane.
I'm going to go with the team's probable
chart too.
It is probable. And I mean, look, who's a great vessel for this and a great catalyst for this is Coco and Pinky and Roman over at Ape Express, right?
Yeah.
Just crushing.
Yeah.
I was listening to them last night.
Oh, great guys. Just the greatest dudes too. Yeah. I know Coco in person. He's just a fucking phenomenal human. Right. I just love the guy. Right. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it's great. The buzz is great. It's nice to see Yuga Labs get more and more involved. And I mean, they're just the whole launch at Ape Fest was just fantastic, and I just think oh fuck, just so good, right? So yeah, man, exciting times, and I do think that the here's an example here. So actually, I'll give you two, just in terms of onboarding. I mean, so I'm out here in Hong Kong right now. Just did this hackathon. 3 days before the hackathon, they had the Solana Hacker House. Right? You ever go to one of these things? I went to one 2 or 3 years ago in Vancouver. I'm not a Solana guy, full disclosure. I mean, I think maybe picked up a couple NFTs, maybe fucked with a couple coins at some point, but I'm not like super savvy. But now that we've got ApeChain with low transaction fees and on ARB, we could actually start approaching people from these different communities and saying, hey, look at us now. Because I'll tell you, 2-3 years ago, the homies that I had on Solana and stuff, they didn't want to touch ETH. They're like, are you kidding me? I'm not paying fucking $50 for gas, $100 for gas. That makes no sense to me, right? So now we can do that. And people from Solana Hacker House, I had them come out to the Ape Chain hackathon, right? One guy fucking won a couple grand from Arbitrum, right? So there's that. And look, the other thing too is, and I'm probably, I mentioned at the top of the show, my own city Twitter account right now has been restricted for some reason, but when I get it back here, hopefully after letting it breathe for a day or two, I'm going to put together a tweet, because one of the most gratifying things for me, and maybe I'm happy to do it here on the spaces if you guys would let me, but if it makes sense to you. But one of the biggest things for me with Paws and Claws has been my ability to onboard people onto Ape Chain.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I mean, anybody. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I would definitely love to, do one or two, something like that. Doesn't matter to me. I would really ideally love to get somebody who's more active in another chain.
Let's, throw me an emoji, throw me a thumbs up if you don't have an Ape Chain wallet.
I'm not seeing too many.
Watch everyone do it.
We'll figure something out. All
right.
Sort it out. Yeah, we'll sort it out. We'll get something done. But that's been super, super, super cool for me. And it's great.
Why don't we, rather than do it during the spaces, why don't we do it via a tweet or in our Telegram group?
Ooh, let's do that.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna pin the Telegram group post now to the top of this one because I'm saving.
You guys, Bitcoin is almost 70.
There it is.
Wow. 75.98.
Okay, so
it's beautiful.
So the FYI Telegram channel, I've just pinned it. Go join that, and we will do a giveaway tomorrow with some Paws and Claws assets, and we'll give them to some deserving people in there.
So cool. I love that.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, love it.
Okay, well, look, thank you so much for coming up and joining us today as well. Doom, I need to wrap in a minute.
No, I gotta jump.
Not
too.
literally.
I'm here for that too.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll put some beats on. We can do this.
No, I'm good. I'm good. There would literally be the most
embarrassing thing. Fucking do some shit.
Listen to this guy go. I love it. Yeah, Doom, I used to have techs. I used to have 1200s way back in the fucking crates, bro. Crates. Let's go.
Yeah, but I have my old
nice
sneaks that I bought when I was in high school.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah, I love the records.
So I want to give away $250. Okay, so Paws and Claws, All City. I need you to help me. How many people have we got in here now? 160, so 53. Give me a number between 1 and 53, please.
33.
Oh no, less. Oh,
33. Okay. It's always 33. It's always 33. It's always 33.
Okay.
Making the man count. I like it.
There. Okay. Right. Now give me a number between 1 and 4.
3.
There it is. There it is. There. It'll come up. Yes. Okay. Thank God for that. Right. So they are following me. I'm just going to check that they have retweeted. They even retweeted Clown Vamp as well. Super cool. Yeah. And they're following Doom. Okay. So Alvarez, and that is at DDD Sergis D fucking hell 87297. Goodness me. Joined March 2023. I'm happy with that. Based in Bangladesh, in Dhaka. Okay, cool. Well, congratulations. I've just followed you back. Drop your wallet address in a DM to me, your TRX, so Tron wallet address, and I'll get 1,800 Sundog to you with haste.
You know what? On Friday, we're going to have 250 from Sundog and 250 from Bets.
Very good.
So $500.
I like that.
Monies to 2 people.
Holy smoke.
We're just getting started.
That sounds good. Okay.
I want, you know what I want, Ben? I want one.
Go for it.
I want 1 token per chain.
I love that.
Ape,
ETH, Sol,
Tron,
and
yeah.
Ape.
Base.
Yeah. In the same show. Love it. That's what we do. Let's find it. Let's make it happen. Okay, people. Yeah. Well, if you were here because of Get Reach,
Bye. I was gonna.
I've always got that one.
Sure.
Always got that one. The password for the first and only time.
Paws and Claws, do you want to guess what the password is first? Maybe we'll make it fun.
33.
It's it's topical. It's topical. What happened in the last 20 Trump?
Yes, it's Trump.
No way. Did I get it?
Dude, you're right.
You got it. All capital letters. TRUMP.
As it should be.
What a fucking whiz. I just nailed that one. That was so good.
He does not have access to the run of show that we wrote up. So that was happenstance. Good job.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, thank you to everyone who came up and joined us today. Really appreciate you all. Really appreciate the team from Metallicus, Paws and Claws, and of course Clown Vamp, who isn't here anymore. But thank you so much for coming up.
Thanks to Josh hung out for a bit in the beginning. The fucking legend.
Exactly. And Doom, thank you.
Ben. Thank you. And All City, thank you. It's good to have you up. It's yeah, dude. I love the fucking art. It's adorable. It is the best pixel art on Ape Chain. Zero question.
There was one I pinned a little while back. It was a little cat with noggles on, with the nouns glasses on.
So good.
Okay, so good. All the right nods. Well, hey, thanks everybody. We'll be back on Friday. Who's our guest on Friday?
I don't know. We've got them. Hang on a minute. Let me just check.
Forgetting.
Oh, fuck me. I've on Monday we've got OSF,
and Vicky
which
J
is going to be a great.
Will be in the house too.
Yes. Yeah. Looking forward to that. I've got.
I see my homie Wedge from Drivers. He's going to come on with us next week because he's got a pretty dope collection dropping on Ape Chain too.
That's the dog. That's the dog.
That guy.
What up, Wedge?
And then you think,
okay, here we go. So
we're going to fucking take over. It's going to be great.
Right.
Yo, I see Sean Nana down there too. Yo, Nana, what's good? Actually, quick plug for other page. You're going to see Paws and Claws on there very soon as well.
Let's go.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Episode 17. I need to speak with them to confirm, but we may get the team from Sun Pump, Sundog, and a very, very, very
special. That's happening on Friday, man.
Hopefully, I need confirmation.
Cool. I'm here for that. I mean, obviously, I'm here for that. But yeah.
Right.
Anyway, thanks for showing up. It's a pretty fucking monumental day in America. And
I'm going to go to bed. I've been awake for truly feels like I've been awake for about 24 hours.
You probably have been. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for showing up and hanging out. And we appreciate it. We'll see you Friday.
Peace.
See you soon.
Show. Peace.
Bye. Bye.
Alright guys, that's it for today. If you have any video suggestions, anything you want me to cover in the future, let me know down in the comment section down below. And until next time guys, peace.